Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we'll look at another utility vehicle that's great if you're playing a survival mode version that has a nerfed jetpack or even no jetpack whatsoever to allow you to fly up to big buildings, big ships, do repair work, ultras, and well carry all the stuff you need to actually do the job. So this thing is called the Work Buddy, which is a hydrogen-powered platform that features the saddle cockpit, and of course the little access panels on the top to make it all nice and fancy. And it features a lovely bunch of warning hazard strips all the way around it, a beacon to make sure you can always find it, a nice lot of hydrogen to make sure you can fly for a nice long time, and it even has a ladder on the back so you can easily climb up and get into this vehicle without needing to use the jetpack whatsoever. Press the F10, find it in spawn menu. The Work Buddy is 209 small blocks using the automatons, heavy industry and wasteland DLC packs. We can see here that it states it's a working platform to use on large scale builds, and that its safe carrying weight for all the stuff in the container is 26.647 kg, which is a nice sort of stuff and perfectly good for any kind of moderate structure. So giving this thing a thumbs up, we're going to move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, then we'll go test it out, and I'll do a small demonstration up against this weird tower that I found on the workshop quite some time ago. Pretty sure I've done the video on this beforehand. Yes, I'll try and find a link to that in the description below. Anyway, back over to here, my character can bugger off just a little bit, off he goes. And this is what we get at the very front, the Work Buddy. So front and center, what we've got is a magnetic plate, clamp ourselves onto a structure, so we then turn off our hydrogen thrusters, make sure we don't waste any fuel while repairing something up. We can also see a medium cargo container with an access panel on top for you to store all the stuff you need to actually do your repair work. They've got two spotlights to light up the darkness. For the platform, it's simply armored panels with our hazard skin all the way around it, and we have two chairs for your passengers to sit on. Moving around onto the side, there's a connector below there to dock this thing up, and of course you easily load and unload anything into that cargo container. There's our saddle cockpit to drive this thing around, and do make sure that you're standing on the platform before you get into the cockpit, otherwise it might eject you off the top. Anyway, towards the back here, there's a beacon to make sure you can always find this thing. There's a bunch of hydrogen thrusters to move it around in all directions, so we are good for space. We can also see a bunch of hydrogen tanks to make sure it's got a nice lot of fuel, another access panel for you to play around with. Over towards the very back of this thing, we've got some more armored panels, just to make a decorative feature at the back. Anyway, at the very back of this thing, here's the ladder for you to be able to get up from the ground all the way to the top, so you can walk all the way across this and get into that cockpit without needing to use your jetpack. Looking all the way down, a nice little platform for you to walk across, there's two more hydrogen thrusters, there's some batteries to give it a bit of power, there's a gyroscope behind the beam block, there's the saddle cockpit, there is our access panel for our medium cargo container. Moving down underneath this thing, so there's our connector to dock the thing up. Over to this part in front of this thruster, we've got ourselves a camera aiming towards the connector to help dock this thing up. Over to here, we've got some more thrusters to keep it off the ground. And then there is the ladder at the very back. And there we go. That's a brief look around the outside. Oh, in fact, I did miss out there is a camera on the left and right hand side. They just blend in very well with the actual connector. That I almost missed them out. But yes, as I was saying, that's a brief look around the outside of the Work Buddy, and it will be a very useful vehicle to have in your world. So now what I can do is just grab hold of my character, we now fly all the way up to this. What I'll do for the moment is just drop it onto the ground. So here we come all the way down. There we go. Now just turn off power completely, hop out of this, and then we can walk around towards the very back of this thing. So coming all the way up to here, all the way up. Now we can just walk all the way across, hop down onto this platform. So now when we go in and out, our character will be ejected onto the side there, and not of course floating away or dropping onto the ground. Now just get back into that seat, put the power back on. Now we just lift this off the ground, now head towards the tower. In first person view, this is what it's going to look like. And of course, bringing up the HUD, we do have controls for our cameras to look on the left and right hand side. So that's going to be very good for lining this up precisely with where it needs to go. As it stands, we're now going to come all the way up. We're going to go towards the center of that ring. So all the way up to here, all the way across. And I think we'll come over to this section. Now to make sure I'm going to land on the flat surface, I'm going to come into the camera, move all the way forwards nice and slowly. And I'll clamp myself straight onto there. Now I can turn off the thrusters, come out of the camera, come out of the seat. I can walk all the way up to the structure, easy do some repair work if I need to, easy grind this up if I have to, and then just get stuff out of the container and do whatever I need to do. Then we're just going to weld this all up. There we go. Close that up, get back into the seat, disconnect that, and of course put the thrusters back on, and I'll fly back to base. Very simple stuff, very useful stuff. But yes, as for that, how does this vehicle handle in general? Moving forwards, here we go. Got a nice sort of speed, but it doesn't need to be too fast at the end of the day. is perfectly serviceable for flying up to stuff to do some repair work, because it isn't going to be going out and about and exploring. It's going to be fairly close to your base, fairly close to all your materials to actually do its job. Yes, we have to move left, and then to move right. Got some very nice speed with that, very good for maneuvering this thing around. Then moving down, hell of a lot of speed because we're on a planet. Then moving all the way up, again, some nice sort of speed. And as you can see over in the bottom right hand corner, we are about to run out of hydrogen, so we might come crashing down to the ground. And that'll be, well, a very good way to end this video. And there we go, we're now out of hydrogen, we're now going to come crashing down to the ground, and over to whatever that is in the distance. And there we go, that was a lovely little crash. Doesn't look like it did too much damage, in fact it doesn't look like it done any damage at all. It looks like we just lost the ladder at the back, maybe a few bits on there. But it could probably still be flowing around if it's refueled with hydrogen. But yes, as I was saying, it's a very useful vehicle to use in your world if you want to do some repair work, especially useful if you're doing a modded survival mode, where say you're using the surviving in hell scenario, where you've got a very limited jetpack, where you can't really fly on an Earth-like planet, or you just have the jetpack disabled in general, it'll be a very useful vehicle. So be linked to the description below if you do wish to download and play around with yourself. Highly recommend you do, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.